video I never thought that I would make, but here we are. I'm not religious and I would never claim to be something I'm not. But I did get the Bible kind of forced down my neck a little bit. Not a crazy amount, but definitely some ramming of the Bible right down my throat when I was a kid. And growing up, I was surrounded by people that were religious and, to my knowledge, had nice lives. And as a kid, I thought, well, I don't have a nice life. God can't be real if he's making everyone's life happy and not mine, right? I had a rubbish understanding of who God and what it was and what religion was, really. Anyway, we fast forward till today, and I am going through the Bible, looking at different religions, and sort of trying to make my mind up of what I want to believe in or what I don't want to believe in. Because the thing is, so many people are religious, right? And if you're not religious, there is a lot of people that think that there is a God, right? For me personally, again, I'm not religious, but I think it's kind of silly not to believe in something like a God, right? That has that amount of power, because there's just no way, right? There's no way that nothing comes from nothing. And if that is the case, then why is it not absolutely everywhere, you know? Anyway, here's the point I'm getting to. Yesterday I talked about greed, right? It's one of gluttony, whatever it is a sin, right? Lust, greed, hatred, or all these different sins, right? And it always gets me thinking about people that I speak to on a regular, like people that are living quote unquote normal lives. And I'll bring this conversation up about the Bible or religion in general, and they get turned off straight away to it. And I find that quite worrying, that they have so much hatred towards religion. And I guess it's because, just like me a little bit, it was painted kind of bad, like a bad image of what religion is, right? If you meet a devout Christian, Muslim, or whatever, any other religion, if you meet someone that's a devout person of faith, normally these are like some top-notch people, really good. So I find it weird that when you talk about it to just quote-unquote normal people, they just like instantly shut it down, like, no, none of that, F that. It's crazy. It kind of blows my mind. And I kind of get it, because a lot of the stuff that religious texts say goes against how we live our lives today and what we do. A lot of us anyway. And we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that we're living bad or we're doing the wrong thing, and we don't want to hear the bad things we've done or what we should be doing instead. We don't want to hear that. We're a society where it's like you're only looking after yourself and you're here for you, YOLO, you only live once, this is your life, you live it kind of thing, do what you want. And that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. When I hear people say things like that, I just think about like a kid, right? A kid might not want to go to school or have a wash or do their homework or eat. But the fact of the matter is they need to, right? They definitely need to wash. They definitely need to sleep. They definitely need to eat. These are pretty basic things that they need to do. And I think we can all agree they need to do these things, right? And sometimes they don't want to do those things. But as the adult, as the parent, you have to either make them or persuade them or push them to do so. If you just said, oh, okay, it's your life, do what you want, the kid's going to have a really, really rubbish start to life, right? They're going to be really far behind all their peers, and they're going to be rubbish. And I feel like when you become an adult, you sort of forget that, yes, you're an adult, but you're at one point you're 10, and then you live till you're 20, and now you're an adult, and now you know what everything is, and now you're this great smart person that can do what they want and live how they want. Nah, not at all. So I think that these religious texts are kind of like, again, I'm not religious and I don't know how to put this without sounding like I'm religious, but I feel like these texts are sort of our parents in a way. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds really weird, but it's sort of like a guide, right? Because a lot of the stuff in these texts are some good stuff, especially the principles, the morals, and these types of things. Yeah, I think majority of people can agree with, right? Especially if you can make them see why and how these things affect people, right? I don't know if parents is the best way to put it, but maybe just a manual on how to kind of live life. And I've been watching a lot of religious content, and there's this argument, and it's what do we perceive as good and bad, right? Let's take the Bible for instance. It tells you what's good and what's bad and what not to do and what you should do, right? But if you don't believe in that, then what is good and bad, right? Because to everyone, good and bad is completely different. It's subjective, right? So what you think good and bad is. And it's a very good argument, I think, because at the end of the day, like, the Bible is telling us what is good and what is bad. And I think a lot of the times it's right. Not to say that I don't have a lot of problems with religious texts and I always find contradictory or things that kind of don't make sense or things that are just against what it says. It's all really confusing and I definitely have problems with it. But I think at the core of most religious texts, they're good. They're good. I just feel like I just don't understand that people that live their day-to-day life can turn their nose up at it. That scares me. And if you are one of those people, I would encourage you to maybe pick up something of a religious text and kind of understand what it's all about and what it actually says, and not just about the bad things that people do that claim they're religious, right? There's a lot of people that claim they're religious or are religious and they do bad things with it, or in the name of it do bad things, and that's not what religion is like, really, right? And you can't group everyone in together, right? You can't group all Muslims together, you can't group all Christians together, you can't group all people together. You just can't do that. Everyone's individual, and everyone has a different viewpoint, a different understanding of it, and you need to try and get all these views and opinions and understandings of things, put it together, and then make your own mind up of it. Because I think it's silly that people group people together, because that's not how it is. Anyway, before I go on rambling and not making any sense to even myself nor you, I'm going to end it there. The point of the matter is I didn't think that I would ever care for anything when it comes to talking about God. But I think it's silly to deny a higher power of some magnitude. But I'm still searching for what that is. And I will never turn my nose up at something that I don't know or don't understand. I find it's important to try and understand and try to figure out everything that comes your way. So yeah, talk to you guys tomorrow.